most of the land, 300 acres, is like this.
This part of the farm is so... All I have to do in return is sheep. It's a genius business plan. I'm at a loss. I don't know when he was listening to pop music.
It's known as the NSA.
The NSA. How many man sheeps do I need? What, so each man sheep?
Of North Country mules. North Country mule.
Right.
See who they are, where they are.
Kevin had assured me.
Clarkson claims that some of the land on his property is good for global warming since it is purposefully not utilized for farming. He then goes on to discuss a subsidy program offered by the Department of Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, DEFRA, for these fields, which mandates that they be mowed once a year. Thinking it would be a good business idea, he decided to use sheep to mow the crops instead of his tractor. For this purpose, Clarkson decides to purchase sheep at an auction, but he is unable to distinguish between the many kinds of sheep and is overwhelmed by the quantity of sheep available. In order to help him buy sheep, he talks to Kevin Harrison of the National Sheep Association. Kevin suggests that Clarkson buy North Country mules because of their temperament and quality. After the auction, Clarkson bought 78 North Country mules for £11,000. Clarkson pays an additional £2,700 to install an electric fence system around the pasture he planned to keep the sheep in after Kevin warns him that they can scale barriers. He uses the battery to electrocute himself while attempting to test the fence to determine whether it functions, and his sheep shows up shortly after. They are herded into the field and are then warmed off screen. Following a few days of labor, Clarkson brings the sheep out to the pasture and tries to move them to a different area because their present one is full of infectious feces. Given his financial limitations and practical challenges of maintaining a sheepdog, Clarkson looks for a different way to herd the sheep. To achieve this, he spends £2,500 on a search and rescue drone that he customizes to make dog barking sound. Jeremy eventually manages to guide the sheep into their new field with no help from Lisa and the video team, but he acknowledges that he cannot keep up with the speed of the sheep. The drone seems to work at first, but when they enter their field via the gate, they try to escape into the settlement. When Clarkson comes back to see his sheep after a few days of work, he finds that some of them are lame. He tries to determine why, but is put off by the diseases that sheep can contract. Acknowledging his lack of preparation, he calls veterinarian Delwyn Evans to help treat the sheep. When Delwyn informs Clarkson that his herd contains 4 lame sheep and the necessary remedies, Clarkson becomes quite upset. After they have consumed everything in their new pasture, Clarkson has relocated the sheep once more. To his dismay, they are considerably less docile, and he is unable to use his barking drone to get them to comply. Soon after, the sheep starts to leap the stone walls, ruining them too. Clarkson ends up spending the whole day sorting the sheep, and in the middle of the night calls in Caleb to help put the electric fence back together. Clarkson attempts to use food to force the sheep the following day, but this does not work out as intended. The ship jump more stone walls and demolish them once more. Accepting his fate, Clarkson gives up trying to hurt the ship in frustration and launches into a tirade full of profanity about his newfound dislike of sheep and his expectation that he would be able to devour them. The farm's walls are further damaged by subsequent attempts to hurt the ship, so Clarkson sends in dry stone walling expert Gerard Cooper to repair them.